mauvais jour, le mauvais soir, c'est le château pour vous servir. Encore une fois, oui bien sûr. Machin. Quoi? Pourquoi j'ai dit achat? Je crois que je suis totalement démonté. Eh, pas de publicité chez moi. C'est un jeu ça? On va savoir. Pas de publicité chez moi. Et alors, nous avons fait la rencontre de plein de gens. Apparemment ils pètent tous la forme, c'est bon. Ah oui, c'est vrai que ma maison n'est jamais en zone safe. Genre... Coucou mec. Surtout c'est derrière moi que je dois aller, genre là-bas. Ah si. Là-bas, puis à droite. Au fond à droite. Ok. C'est un dégénéré ça. Je suis complètement fou. Et je reconnais, j'étais ici au début du jeu. Ils sont tellement hachés.
It's locked. It's all right.
De toute façon, il faut que je passe par ce cours.
See them empty clothes? This one's a top.
What the fuck, mec? Ah putain. C'est un genre de loup bizarre. Nani? Je peux rien faire. Putain. J'ai plus rien. J'ai plus rien. Je suis un peu deg parce que l'amélioration que j'ai prise, je l'ai surestimée. Genre en vrai c'est de la grosse merde. Et du coup il retourne là où il vient. T'as vu, c'est bizarre. je gode. Mais le god c'est moi en fait. Non c'est pas vrai. Ok, c'est parti. Putain ils m'ont souillé quoi. J'ai bien flippé. Putain il faut que j'aille toujours tout. Bon j'aimerais bien parler à un certain PNJ. Histoire que je puisse couler parce qu'un jour... voilà. Toujours là-bas. Ah. Apparemment c'est ici. Nous sommes arrivés à destination.
29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?
Je sais pas mec.
There's been a fight here.
Ouais, une très heureuse bagarre. Ce violon il fait baler.
This window was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could have done that?
À part un vampire, pas d'autre connard. C'était ton frère. C'est bon, il n'y a plus de loot. On peut repartir. Encore. On va être partout. Ah, ça sent de bon. Putain. Ils veulent me faire signe de quoi là? Mais trop tant de trucs. Ah putain, il s'est mis à marcher. Suivez les traces de sang. Mais là, il y en a.
It's locked.
Super.
Sir, step away!
Et taper une fois deux trous. Je crois que le loot a disparu sous mes yeux. Encore une trace de sang, wesh. Ça y fait quoi là? Oh putain. Je sais pas ce qu'il espérait là, venir en marchant vers moi. Plus trop de vie, mais ils sont 3 chaînes ici, c'est nimp. Ah là, du rat.
I have this thirst for blood.
Putain, je voyais briller le cadavre. Pas un autre rat là. Oh, c'est triste.
The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire. This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family.
Putain, des fils de pute. De vous traquer ma famille. Wesh.
Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out. only a golden watch in her pockets.
Magnifique montre.
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, I might as well win it.
Grosse pute. Personne ne me voit. Que moi qui me vois moi-même. Il y a deux niveaux, j'arrive. J'y arrivé. J'ai littéralement rêvé. Alors. Putain, mais ça pue la merde, mais c'est en endurance. Jamais je trouverai. Allez hop, et on repart à la bataille. Et du coup j'avais raison. Notre pistolet c'est de la merde. Tu peux pas recharger comme quelqu'un de normal quand il reste appuyé, t'es obligé de tirer comme un gros fou. Comment t'arrêtes de recharger? Ah mais t'es obligé de vider tes balles. Super.
Despicable.
Le bras. J'ai vu deux poubelles déjà. Morceau de poignée commun. Et moi il me faut de qualité monsieur. Il me faut de qualité pas commun. Ah du schlingue. Nice. Oui, séance parcours dans Vampire, c'est génial. T'appuies sur une touche. Putain, depuis tout à l'heure je regarde pas, mais s'il faut quelqu'un qui va me débusquer. Les meubles sont très attirants. Pas de chambre là. S'il vous plaît. Pas l'argent.
Jonathan.
What was that?
J'ai sursauté. C'est l'hôpital en plus. À la pute. À la pute.
I won't let you escape.
Je ne vais pas te laisser t'échapper. C'est pour ça que la dernière fois j'avais vu le truc comme ça. Jusque j'allais monter sur le toit. Toi tu montes ici comme un trésor.
Very fast, but I'll catch you.
Quel enculé. Hop là. Petit tricky. Moi la monnaie. Moi la monnaie. Bon. Ah, ils sont déjà un peu plus BN déjà. Putain. J'adore quand ça crie de douleur. Putain, mais je dois retourner au cimetière. Putain, j'avoue qu'ils sont tous fait massacrer. Oh non, ne me dis pas que du coup ça va toujours être comme ça. Putain, je dois retourner dans ce cimetière de morts. Eh bien, on va suivre le sang.
I can still sense a presence.
Moi aussi, je l'en sens. Oh, c'est moi qui a cassé une tombe quand j'hallucine. Et là, ta présence, t'es content, trop du cul. Ils m'ont dit de suivre le sang, moi je le suis. Putain, la pute. Elle m'a vraiment fait bander. Oui, des petits rats que pour moi. Ta mère, j'ai jamais voulu faire ça.
God help, please. You. What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon. Hell scourge. Son of perdition.
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul.
C'est la
Returned from the
daronne.
dead, like
C'est
your
la
Christ.
daronne à Jonathan. Non.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All
Je
smiling.
l'avais
all
vidé de
dead.
son sang au début du jeu. What the fuck, elle est encore là.
Mary,
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Jeez.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital, cemetery to cemetery, grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were, in front of me, on a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary.
Pauvre
With time,
père, à
we
son
can learn to
âge.
live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Comment tu parles à ta mère?
I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
So that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular. That of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Abomination.
Ma manette. Oui, je veux pas bouffer ma sœur, t'es folle ou quoi?
Jonathan, kill him. Revel.
C'est pas avec sa putain de tombe.
Kiss me again, sweet brother.
Maman, elle est devenue folle.
Assassin! You've spared the precious Nurse Crane, but not your own Mary. Rest in peace, monster.
The fuck, elle est trop forte.
You left me to rot in this grave.
T'avais pas qu'à faire ces mesquines que t'étais morte. Tu simules une mort, tu restes morte. Hein.
What have you done?
À part reculer, je peux rien faire. Elle est trop forte.
I'll make you kneel like a dog, just as you did to Shawhampton. Come to me, Jonathan. Rot in this grave!
Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? Bah voilà, meuf. Meurs pas, s'il te plaît, oui, je meurs pas.
Well, brother, it's time to bring this
Putain, non, Dieu,
conversation
non, 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 non.
forever.
Fais
No,
pas ça,
I will
meuf.
not play this game.
Fais pas ça, meuf.
Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
At last, I can forgive you.
Il faut juste que j'avance. Oh non, il faut juste que je bouge le joystick. Je vais les retourner en arrière. Elle est trop creepy là, ouais, pourquoi je dois la transporter jusqu'à là-bas? Je peux pas courir. C'est trop creepy, wesh. Allez, jette-la. Quelques nuits plus tard. J'espère avoir pas mal d'XP. J'espère que je pourrai mettre mes trucs à zéro parce que j'ai pris un sort de merde. Ça me dégoûte. C'est trop de la merde ce que j'ai fait avec un sort. Je pensais que ça allait être super fort, mais en fait, non, c'est trop
As I
nul.
shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Et ben, je suis plutôt énervé. Oh oui. Oh, j'ai eu 6000 points d'XP, vous vous foutez de ma gueule. Et ça a influencé personne. Laisse-moi tout ça dodo alors. Trop bien. Il a les yeux rouges. Pourquoi il a les yeux rouges? Il a les yeux rouges. J'ai fait pourtant un run pacifiste. Oh non. Oh non. Tu peux pas annuler. Je suis trop dégoûté, c'est trop de la merde. Putain, j'ai niqué tellement de points pour cette capacité que ça fasse ça. Bon, j'ai profité d'avoir beaucoup de points. Voilà. Pouvoir encaisser un maximum de coups. Vas-y. Putain, je suis dégoûté pour cette capacité. Ah, je suis vraiment dégoûté. Je peux augmenter mon rythme. Vous échangez le gain de santé instantané pour une régénération plus rapide. Ok. 200. Ok. C'est vrai que lui c'est pas mal, mais qu'est-ce que ça coûte cher. Putain, je suis dégoûté, j'aurais dû prendre ça. Concentrez votre temps sur l'un et vos pieds pour augmenter les dégâts infligés à votre cible. Si votre cible est déjà détournée, vous les traînez automatiquement. Putain. T'as augmenté aucun impact, c'est de la merde ton truc. Putain, j'ai amélioré ça pour de la merde. Je vais augmenter ça, bah les couilles. Putain, j'ai vraiment envie. Putain. Je peux pas annuler là, genre. Ça me casse les couilles. C'est de la merde, pourquoi j'ai amélioré ça? Pourquoi on peut pas revenir en arrière? Putain, j'en ai trop marre d'avoir fait le con comme ça. C'est quoi ça? Mon capacité de survie, je m'en bats les couilles de ça. Je vais augmenter mon endurance, et hop. Putain, ça coûte 1000, casser les couilles. Voilà, encore plus d'endurance. Du coup, je vais augmenter mon rythme, parce que j'ai jamais monté. Putain, ça coûte une chier. Vous avez changé les gains de santé pour une régénération plus importante. Je comprends pas la différence en fait. Vas-y, ça aide beaucoup plus. Hein. Vous recevez instantanément obtenir une augmentation supplémentaire de votre régénération de santé. Bon, bah j'ai rien compris. Moi par contre, je suis un peu trop débile pour ce genre de choses. Vas-y, hein. Je marque ça hein, au lieu de cette connerie. Hein. Jouer full regain 200, allez hop, fini. Pas améliorer un truc là. Jauge de santé. Putain, tout coûte trop cher dans le jeu. Capacité sanguine. Ah, je sais. Les sérums. C'est bien ça. 300, ok. Ah putain, c'est vrai. Faut tout confirmer dans le jeu, merde. Pourquoi t'as les yeux rouges maintenant, Jonathan? Tu vas me dire. Ça va. Il pète la forme maintenant. Et vous, je vous connais pas. Ça va. Pourtant, vous avez tous une bonne santé, genre. Avant le courrier au travail, une pile de sang riche peut être utilisée pour créer des sérums sanguines de vampires du style. Ah, ça va être chaud. Ah, ça va être très très chaud pour un craft. Ça va être chaud pour un craft. Endurance. Ah ouais, sérum de sang, c'est pas facile, non? Ah ouais. L'ergot machin, là, il y en a pas. Il y en a pas dans toutes les rues, là. L'ergotamine. Je sais pas ce que c'est. Super. Super. Oh, je dois encore marcher à l'autre bout de la ville. Vous foutez pas un peu de ma gueule? Attends, est-ce qu'ils vont bien là? Pinkbrook Hospital. Va falloir parler aux gens. Va falloir les soigner. Vas-y, qui es-tu, toi?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Non, c'est pas cool ça.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Pauvre petit.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They
J'aime
both
pas
want the
avoir
best.
les yeux rouges, j'ai
There's a lot
l'impression
of
d'être
pride
méchant
there.
maintenant.
Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
My apologies. Te soigner.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Regardez comment je suis maléfique. J'ai les yeux rouges. Ah ouais, mais il a une sale dégaine en vrai. Je crois que je suis en train de me zombifier. Mec, c'est fort possible. Regarde toutes les veines qui commencent à pousser tout sur ma gueule. Bon, ça se voyait pas de loin, mais bon. Dommage. Oh, il a mal à la tête.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Le bon plan.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Alors attends, parce que je crois qu'il y avait une enquête. Ouais, entourage, ouais, super. Genre je crois que c'est où? Classification des recherches. Ça me prend les couilles un peu de ça. Ah putain. Je crois que c'est pas ça. Non plus. Hôpital. Ok. C'est qui là qui est en train d'être soigné? Nani? Non, je suis en train de parler à qui là? T'es un vampire ou t'es juste un putain d'anonyme sur pattes? Comme pistolet, en bonne santé, migraine, mal de tête, récupération. Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de te parler? Stickland. Tibet. Musique. Stickland. Ingrédients encore.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
It's dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
Ouais, mais je pense lui il fait ça sur les clients, c'est pas cool.
You can't be serious. You have to stop this before you lose yourself. Lives are at stake here, remember?
I'm a competent doctor and my value has been proven already. Frankly, I'm disappointed to hear you, above all, speaking so ill of me.
Quel fils de pute. Quel fils de pute. Putain, ça me dégoûte.
Do you need my medical wood? There is no? Goodbye.
Remarque à quel point tu es.
I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
Et du coup... Ok. Alors qu'en vrai, je suis jamais vraiment allé là-bas, quoi. Bon, du coup, il y a un peu trop d'enquête. Par que nous bourre au pistolet.
Come now, we can handle this.
Ah, ma mignonne petite chérie.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
My condition cannot be understood by you.
Well,
Allez, ferme ta gueule, ma chérie.
I'll leave you.
Lost its effect on me. A lot of my own. But the suffering continues.
Feel disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, Nurse Hall.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hall.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital. I wonder what your last thoughts would be, Sir Pembroke, nowadays.
J'ai rien fait.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Whoa.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
And it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
C'est du fou. Du coup, c'est bon, vous avez nettoyé ici, c'est bien. Il y a eu du putain de sang ici de partout et ils ont tout nettoyé, quoi. Bon, après, il n'y a personne qui dort ici, ouais, quoi que si. Putain, j'aimerais pas dormir dans cette chambre. Pour moi, ce serait la chambre du TPP.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Non, je t'ai déjà parlé.
Goodbye.
Toi, t'es qui? Ah, t'es parti parce que j'ai parlé à ton copain. Je comprends. Je comprends. C'est compréhensible. On ne touche pas à son copain. Non, Sticklen, je t'ai déjà parlé.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana. pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Oh, mais j'en ai plein pour l'anémie.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Eh ben, il est gentil, le petit gobelin.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Nani? J'ai à peine bougé. Oh putain, il y a encore 48 trucs.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch
these
bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic.
Jeez.
Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Surtout qu'elle est morte.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
Je te crois pas.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Since you're not afraid of dying, Do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Do you need medical... Don't... And... Please show...
Of course.
Il a une ergothermique. Putain, ça coûte cher. Jamais je vendrai mon bijou. C'est fou, lui. Il est complètement fou. Tu es où, toi, justement? Bon, ça me saoule. Faut parler à trop de gens et j'ai un peu la flemme. Je pense qu'on va passer sur un autre jeu. Mais plus tard, pas de suite. Pendant que je serai pas là, si les gens reviendront ou pas, j'en ai aucune idée. Sur ce, passez une mauvaise journée, c'était Nyusha pour vous servir. Je crois que j'ai oublié la moitié de ma réplique, on s'en fout.